Today I'm looking for your opinion on what you do with books after you've read them. I generally have a rule in that I like to pass on books as soon as I've read them because I've got too many unread books on my shelf, so basically those take priority, and once I've read it, to be honest, these days there's not a good chance I'm going to reread it. So once I've finished a book, it generally goes on my giveaway pile, so that's usually to swap or to give away to my friends or other bloggers. There are generally three kind of rules where I keep books, and that is if it's a favourite, if it is something I'm likely to reread, or if it's been signed. Because once I've got my name in it, there's not really much I can do with it, so I'm kind of obliged to keep it. Even if it's not really a favourite, I tend to keep most of my signed ones. It's also a good record of which authors I've met. So far in 2014 I have read 9 books. I'm on my 10th at the moment, I'm about 3/4 of the way through. So of those 9 books, 4 I've already given away or promised to give away within the next couple of weeks. 2 of those were ebooks, so I've got no problem there. They don't take up any room, so they'll just be sitting on my Kindle or in the big space cloud thing. And that leaves me with 3 others that obviously are going on my pile of books to give away. But what happens if bloggers don't want them? Perhaps it's a book that maybe all bloggers have already read, or perhaps it wasn't a very good book so no one might like it. What happens then? I haven't really come across this yet, as I've managed to give away quite a few of mine, but I do have a couple that have been hanging around for ages that I need to decide what to do with. And this is where I need your help. Is there a place where you take your old books? Do you give them to bookshops or charity shops or your library? Do you, horror of horrors, just throw them away? I also have this problem when it comes to the differentiation between finished copies and proof copies. Obviously finished copies are mine, so they're free to give away to anyone. However, I do know that some proof copies specify that they're not for resale, obviously, but also I've seen in a couple that they're not to be given to any third party. Now, does this mean that as a blogger, if I've read it and reviewed it, and perhaps it's not even out yet, that I shouldn't pass it on to someone else? So even if you're guaranteed another review out of it, is it still not good practice to pass it on? I'm not really sure where this grey line is. I'm of the opinion that, especially with proof copies, the more reviews the better. So if I can pass it on to someone else who will review it, I think that's grand, because that's one less proof you have to make and send out, because we're in effect sharing them. I'd be really interested to see your view on this, whether you think proofs are for that person who was given it and that person only, or do you think they should be shared around? And also, if it comes to the point where there isn't a blogger that wants it, what do you do with your proofs? Can you give them away? Or is that it? Are they virtually just redundant books? And that kind of makes me really sad, because the stories are virtually the same most of the time, and I feel like I can't bring myself to ever throw some books away. So let me know in the comments down below. What do you do with your books once you've read them? What do you do with your proof copies? Do you think it's acceptable to give them to other bloggers or other readers? What do you do if you've got a signed copy of a book that you didn't actually enjoy? Is it acceptable to give it away, or do you have to keep it forever and ever? Let me know in the comments down below, or tweet Bookish Brits on Twitter, and because I'd be really interested in your opinion. So talk to me.